the more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gon' fly. Just live up to the hype, homie. Ever allow anybody to make you feel bad about being so blessed when you work your ass off to live your life and lifestyle? It's time to get back in there and stay focused, man. I need you to graduate. You got in college. I need you to finish. I need you to graduate from high school. I need that. I need it badly. Of course, all kind of stuff outside of school that can fuck with your focus. But you gotta stick that shit out, man. It's another level to this shit, man. It's not lonely at the top if you help somebody else get there. I should not care. I should not care. I should just focus on my music and my movies and doing my thing and focus on Tyrese. I should not care about you. I should not. But guess what? I do.
It's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through, and they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline I get things done. I always say that I'm like the most lazy, disciplined person I know because I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
but I always do.
And I'd be interested to get your perspective on this statement. So I also think that discipline is a pathway to creativity. And I'll tell you, when I talk about creativity, there's another misconception about the military. When you're on the battlefield, is an absolute exercise in creativity, okay? I already talked about how you're gonna lead these people, what are you gonna do, how are you gonna influence them, how are you gonna talk to them, how are you gonna say the right things. That's creativity. Now you throw on top of that, what am I gonna do to the enemy? How are we going to attack them? How are we going to disorganize them? How are we going to get in their heads? That's all just massive creativity. And when I look at people that are artists like yourself, because you're a stand-up comedian, I would imagine that the more disciplined you are, you got to get up and write. You got to write stuff down. You got to read and find out about what's going on in the world so you have more things that you can jab at and make fun of. You got to increase your vocabulary so that you are quicker and sharper so that when people are saying things, you have more words to battle back at them. All those things, all that freedom that you get on stage comes from the discipline that you study, you learn, you read, you write, you talk, you go through things. Is that an accurate statement?
Absolutely accurate. There's a great book on it. Stephen Pressfield wrote a book called The War of Art. And Pressfield was essentially like a ne'er-do-well till he was like 40 years old. He was kind of a fuck-up. And then figured it out. Somewhere along the line, figured it out. I used to keep a stack of them in my old studio, and I'd hand them out to guests if I thought they needed it. Like, just take this. Just trust me, read this. Because a lot of artists and comics, I bet musicians as well, but writers for sure, one of the big problems is sitting down and doing the work. And you gotta, and Pressfield talks about that in the most concise and beautiful way. And he labels it like an enemy. He calls it resistance, and that you have to sit down, you have to overcome resistance, and that the pro goes to work. And it doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you have kids, it doesn't matter what, you're a pro and you go to work. And that just, it puts it in your head that this is what I do. This is what, and you have pride in that. And then when you are in front of that keyboard and you look down the count, it says, I got fuck 1,000 words today. I put 1,000 words in. You're doing the work. Yeah. And out of that work, gems blossom. When you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being fucking lazy and just doing it.
Yeah.
That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be a fat fuck. Because there's a lot of days I don't want to do it. It's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through, and they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline I get things done. I always say that I'm like the most lazy, disciplined person I know because I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
but I always do.